The Beholder. Beloved one, as we have been speaking of the interdimensionality of you, we have been speaking of the reality of you, the reality of the mind of God. Now, the mind of God sounds like a great phrase coined by some of your religious theologians. In truth, the mind of God is the infinite sea of isness of which we have been speaking, and you are the mind of God expressing in this point of focus as individuated energy. You call yourself by a certain name. You know certain parameters of what you say your reality is. You have certain parameters of personality with which you identify, and yet, even as individuated energy, you are much more than the speck of consciousness. You are the mind of God. In previous messages, I have been leading you gently, as my teachers and masters did, to the place of being the beholder, to the place of knowing interdimensionality. I would speak with you now in greater detail about the role of the beholder and how it allows you freedom from what you have seen this scripted reality to be. Now, in this plane of reality, which is based so much upon the belief in duality, you have made for yourself a most wonderful dichotomy. On the one hand, you identify most specifically with who you say you are, the individuated energy, and you identify most specifically and most wondrously with the experience of this lifetime and of this world. You identify quite specifically with your creations, tangible and intangible. On the other hand, you cry out to the higher self of you, or to me, or to the Father God, or to the Mother God, to release you from that very specific identification. For indeed, as you will know constriction in that specificity, you want to know holy vision, and you want to have your release from all that is binding within this reality. So on the one hand, as you will be most wondrously identified with all of your creations, revealing in the drama of the adventure of the Holy Child, at the same time within this reality that believes so much in duality, there is a part of you which knows that you are not constrained to this reality, and desires most wondrously to come up higher to know ascension out of this reality. You have agreed that you will bring your light and anchored upon this plane. You have agreed that you will play a certain role within the drama of this world, that you will walk with a cloak of forgetfulness where you will appear to be the same as the brothers and sisters, where you can speak a language that they understand. And yet you will commune with the greater self of you to know that you are not constrained to this world. The role of the beholder allows you the releasing of specific focus. It allows you to move into the extended consciousness of the greater mind. It allows you to connect once again in the place of deep, deep peace with the reality, the true reality of you. As you allow yourself the simplicity of the deep breath, you have the opportunity to be at peace in that moment. As you will continue to breathe deeply and peacefully, you will allow space for the still small voice to speak, space for the inner wisdom which comes from the greater self of you, the mind of God. As you will assume the role of beholder, you find that it is not necessary, even as the world will speak to you, that this is most necessary, to respond quickly to a brother or sister's remark. You have taught yourself, because of the belief that you had to defend yourself and your creations, that it was necessary to have a very quick answer to ward off perhaps whatever would be coming. It was not necessary to be seen as wise, all-knowing, for indeed, you did not want to be seen as slow-witted one, for the slow-witted ones often were left behind. You did not want to be left behind. Therefore, you have trained yourself to be very quick with an answer. It did not matter if you had thought it through or not, but it was important that you had an answer. Now, I am suggesting to you that it is important that you be as the wise one who allows yourself to play the role of the beholder, to breathe and to listen, and then to respond as the inner wisdom will guide you. For indeed, you have known lifetimes when you have been the teacher, the master who had various disciples and students around you, and there would be a question asked of you as a teacher, the master, because you wanted to give forth truth, because you knew it was important that you be as a catalyst for the student's own remembrance of their inner wisdom. You took your time in answering. Perhaps for a day, perhaps for a week, you would sit in silence contemplating what the answer would be. And the students, because they revered your wisdom, waited, quite different from this day and time. The students waited because sometimes the answer was not to be spoken, but to be revealed. The master, which you have been, knew that it was important for the mantle of silence to descend upon the group, for ones to abide within their own being to find the answers to the question which had been asked. In other words, it was important for them to learn the role of the beholder, and just to watch the thoughts which would arise, to watch all the possible answers which would come to the question, to watch, to wait, to breathe. There is a great power in being the beholder and allowing yourself to come from the place of deep, deep peace and inner wisdom. As you will get so caught up in all the affairs of the world, what happens to the feeling of energy in the body? Know you that feeling? You feel like you are being pulled in many, many directions. You feel that you do not have enough energy to do whatever is being asked of you, and sometime it gets conflicting enough. You have thrown up your hands and you have said, I give up. I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be there. I'm supposed to know this answer. I'm supposed to have this report done. I give up. Great place to be, for indeed in that moment you are releasing yourself from the demands of the world, even though the ego will not give you any accolades at that point. In that moment you are releasing all of the chains that the world has set is around you, and you are moving into a place of surrender, a place which says, I've done my best. I don't know what else to do now. Now I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to breathe. Blessed be the person who finds himself in that place and remembers to breathe. Then you have opportunity to move into that place of greater power, the place of beholding, the place within where you ask for holy vision. Now, the ego will be screaming at you that you have failed. The ego will be saying that you should be doing X, Y, and Z. But for a moment or so, bracket the voice of the ego and say, all right, I will tend to you in a moment or so. Get thee behind me for a moment. I am going to abide and behold for a moment. I am going to watch myself as I have been caught up in all this constriction. I am going to watch the other ones who are also doing this dance with me. I'm going to watch. I'm going to breathe. I am going to ask for holy vision. I will know the power of silence, the power of the beholder. There is a great power in silence, for it allows you to connect once again with the mind of God, the extended consciousness. For indeed, the mind of God is not a void. It is not a place of nothingness. The mind of God is allness. It is consciousness. It is awareness of the infinite. It goes beyond what the mind in this reality can comprehend. The power of the beholder is in the silence. As you will assume the role of the beholder, as long as you can remember, and it is a bit of a discipline, you will find great power in just being, great power in just loving, allowing the breath, allowing the holy vision, allowing the love and understanding to flow in, to envelop you and all others who are in the most wonderful divine dance with you. Now I would invite you to take a deep breath. Feel the peace that comes with a deep breath. Take another deep breath and gently allow the eyes to soften, to turn the focus inward, to go within to the place of silence. Again, I would guide you into a place of interdimensionality, the place of the beholder. We have done this before. Feel the peace and the power of the silence, and in that space of beholding, call to the mind's eye an occurrence that happened in this day, where you were witness to something which was going on between a brother and a sister, perhaps a group of people. Just allow yourself to think about what happened, who said what did the body language look like. In the place of the beholder, allow yourself to visualize the ones engaged in this encounter. Visualize them as a ball of light. Instead of seeing the features, the appearances of the body, allow yourself to visualize them as a ball of light, radiant, dynamic light. Replay again the situation and see how the balls of light interact with each other. Which one seems more dynamic? Which one is more aggressive? Which one is more confused, constricted? And in that space of the beholder, just watching the interplay of light, allow yourself now in remembrance to balance the balls of light and see what happens. In other words, bring your healing consciousness to that event, and see each sphere of light being equal and radiant. Then take another deep breath and allow that slate to clear, and call to mind an event, a circumstance, a situation in which you were a participant, an event where you were engaged with another one in the interplay of energy. Remember the features of the ones as you were talking with them, conversing with them. How did they look? What did the face look like? What was the body posture? Then see yourself. How did your face look? What was your body posture? How did it feel? What was said? What was exchanged? Then again, using the power of the beholder, allow yourself to visualize the other one and you as spheres of light activating the bodies. But now the appearances of the bodies, the physical boundaries of the bodies dissolve into light. See yourself in this interplay as light. Feel the interaction. How does your energy interact? Is it expansive? Is it contracting? How is their energy of light? Is it expansive? Is it contractive? Is it an exchange? Is it a blending, a mellowing? Be aware of the nuance of the energy level of the spheres of light, how they dance. The light which activates the body is most dynamic and radiant. It is most alive. It expands, and sometimes it feels so expansive you could take in the whole world in your light. Other times you feel yourself to be a very small flame of the candle surrounded by much darkness. Watch the interplay with the spheres of light. Be aware of the subtlety of how the energy feels. Perhaps there has been something said to you which you do not want to hear, you do not want to believe. Perhaps something was said to you that you did want to believe. It was the most wonderful news you could have hoped for. How does that feel? Using the power of the beholder, allow yourself to balance all the spheres of light which have been within the mind's eye as you have replayed the situation. See all of the light blending, equal, dynamic, powerful, and loving. See the situation in a different light. And now allow yourself to know that, in truth, you have healed that situation. You have healed yourself. There is great power in the space of the beholder. There is great power in the space of the interdimensional you, which is not caught up in specific focus and specific reality. Whenever you want to know holy vision, allow yourself to move into that space where you've just been. Instead of seeing specific bodies, specific personalities, see spheres of light and see the interplay of light. It will release you from constriction of worry and fear and the what if. It will release you from the voice of ego that says, you should know, you should answer, you should be, you should have done, etc. All of the shoulds the ego loves to offer you. The space of the beholder allows you to connect with the true meaning of you. You have carried throughout many lifetimes much armor. You have carried it in the body. You have asked the body to be your perfect servant, to carry all the beliefs of which you have said this reality is and has to be. You come in this time, this day, with constriction, unease in the body. Some of you have allowed the unease to grow to the place of the threshold of disease. The body calls out to you and says, I hurt, I need some loving attention. It is possible to use the same technique that we just did to look at your body and or to look at another's body and see where the constriction and armoring is. Now in truth, you have lived lifetimes as the healer. You have lived lifetimes in which, because of the sincerity of the heart, you desire to be of service to the brothers and sisters, to comfort them, to facilitate for them as an ease of living instead of disease and suffering. You did not want to have the brothers and sisters in such pain and sorrow. It is the same for you in this lifetime. Your tender heart cannot bear to see another suffer. You have known how to see, to read one's body through various techniques, to see where there is constriction. You have known to look even further than the body to see the wounds of that one soul, wounds which have been carried throughout lifetime after lifetime and remanifest lifetime after lifetime because it was thought to be reality. I invite you now again to take another deep breath, not with effort but just easy, and go to a place within, the place of sacred silence, the place of peace. Abiding in silence, bring to the mind's eye your own body as it would be in a mirror. You know what your body looks like in the mirror? Visualize the top of the head, the facial features, the throat, the shoulders, the chest area, the solar plexus, the thighs, the lower extremity, the legs, the feet, the toes. What do the toes look like? Visualize your arms, the top of your arms where they join to the shoulders, lower part of the elbow down to the wrist. Visualize your hands. What does the back of your hand look like? What does the palm of your hand look like? What do the fingers look like? Now stand behind yourself and look at the back of your head. What is the shape of your head? What is the shape of the neck? How does your back look? Your waist, the back of your legs, the back of your knees, the ankles. Now, looking at the front of the body once again, allow all of those features, the boundary of the physical body, to dissolve into a very soft light, and scan from the top of the head down over the face, the throat, the shoulders, the heart, the chest area, the solar plexus, the legs and the feet, the arms and the hands. Is there a part of the body which stands out as more rigid? Is there a part of the body which seems a bit darker than the rest? Is there a part which seems lighter than the rest? And now stand behind your body and again, seeing the light enveloping all the body, scan from the top of the head to the heels. How does the light from the crown, the light from the back of the neck, across the shoulder blades, the chest and the waist, the hips, the back of the legs down to the feet appear? How are the joints of the arms and the hands, the joints of the legs and ankles? Now, assuming the position of the power of the beholder, allow your light to shine upon all of the body, especially any areas that seem to be a bit dimmer. Be as a great flashlight. Shine your light upon all the body. Wash the body with light from the back view, and then go around to the front of the body and wash the front of the body from the crown chakra down to the toes with light. Be a cosmic flashlight. Beam your light. Wash the body in light. Claim for yourself healing in every cell of the body. And then, abiding in the place of the beholder, in the place of silence, listen. Listen to what the body will tell you. If there is a part of the body that has a message for you, listen. Be as a friend of the body. Place your light hands upon any part of the body that is speaking to you and receive the message. Reassure that part of the body that you are listening, that you have heard, that you care, that you will do all in your power to allow the light to flow into any constrictiveness in that part and throughout all parts of your body. Breathe your peace into any part of the body that does not feel at ease. Expand. Allow your peace to expand the light of the body. Any part of the body which is registering constriction, allow the peace to expand every cell in that area and to shine the flashlight of your light into that area. See that area expanding, feel it expanding, know it is expanding, and claim it to be expanding. Visualize turning your light on around the body. How does it feel? Expansive, loving, healing, nurturing? You are calling forth the power of the mind of God as you allow yourself to move into the expanded state of the beholder. You are healing situations, experience, perceptions, and even physical manifestations. If you will know ascension, and it is your desire to know ascension out of the constriction of the world and the reality that the world has dictated, practice being the beholder. Practice releasing specific focus. Practice knowing the light which heals all illusion. This is what my masters taught me. This is what I give to you. It will heal everything you have experienced in this reality, and it will bring you to the place of great peace and truth. It will bring you to the realization of the interdimensional you, the reality which you are not that is focused upon or identified with anything dimensional. In reality, you do not have specific focus upon any dimension. You are in the reality of interdimensionality. You are in the mind of God. Practice being that which you are. Practice being the interdimensional truth. Practice being the beholder. The reward will take you out of this world. When I speak of you of being the beholder, I speak to you of truth, of steps which were given to me in what you call ancient times. When I speak to you of the power of the beholder, I give to you a key which releases you from specific focus. It does not mean that you will deny the world and the activities of the world. It means that you will know yourself to be in the world, but not of it. That in truth, the world is of your making. Practice being the beholder and claim the joy which comes with knowing true freedom. And indeed, in that space of true freedom, I am with you. So be it.